because there were two people and they came in at exactly the same time, and then I had to introduce them. So
Well, don't put this on the episode, but like when I did game show, Luke like didn't tell me that I need to record on my end until we were already recording. So like I recorded what I think was myself, but I did not. I think what I sent him was usable, but I guess we'll find out.
hmm. It's posted to the site.
Oh, it's mine's up already?
I mean, it's scheduled, right? It's not live, but it's scheduled. It's
I don't
there.
know. I don't know when it's I don't know when it's going up. I
Like I
don't think it's
could,
up yet.
no, I could listen to. It's not up, but I could. It's on the site if you have the
Oh,
password.
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
Like
have yeah, I don't have access to that. So that's above my
exactly
clearance.
right.
Okay.
Like I didn't listen to it because basically it's not on my phone. I don't listen to it, right? But
Well, I'll give you a spoiler. I did not win.
no, okay. Nobody wins. Nobody
Well,
ever
that's
wins.
true. Nobody ever wins, but I won the least.
That's the least final, the least fortune.
I mean, let's face it. I played the least Pokemon and the least Monster Hunter.
That's still good for laughs. No, yeah. I mean, part
That
of the
was
point is that
close.
half of the subjects don't fit with half of the people, right?
But you're gonna be like Quizmaster on it, right?
I thought I might come with a quiz sometime. Yeah.
You should do that. You should do the most sadistic thing possible.
Oh, I was sketching one out. Let's see what.
You like don't put this in the episode, but like I think is Luke gonna hear this?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be entirely like old Nintendo, like old person shit.
Oh, what mine?
No, no, mine. Is that what
Oh,
you're
okay.
doing?
I'm looking. I started making some ideas. I'm trying to find them for fun, but where did I put them?
I was gonna just be like this, the original like whatever 30 Nintendo games on that poster. Like play the menu music from them and see if you could like tell which one is which, but just play like dude, like that much.
Where the fuck did I put that file? Oh, is that it? Maybe that's it. No, that
You have
just
a
says sent
prisoner
from my.
file?
Oh no, I was looking for where I had thought of some ideas in case I do that show. I had typed out some shit, but now I can't remember where I put it.
I was thinking I was gonna do a bunch of Castlevania, but I thought that would be probably really cruel because surely nobody's played all of the Castlevania, and some people probably haven't played any.
Don't be cruel.
Hmm.
But, no, no,
There's like Castlevania has a lot of ridiculous like minutia of like details where there's some games you can't get the good ending in some Castlevania games unless you equip specific items that like don't do anything.
Here it is. So I don't think you'd be on the same one. I've made
That would be weird.
I've made two rounds so far. One of
Hmm.
them is I give a list of four pornographic Atari 2600 game titles, and one of them I made up.
Okay, well, tell me what they are. I could probably answer it.
Okay, the first round is Beat 'em and Eat 'em, Night on the Town, Come On, and General Retreat.
I think General Retreat is the fake one.
Nah, Come On's the fake one.
Oh,
It's
damn
also
it.
spelled as CUM. Okay.
Huh.
Here's the next one. Cat Hout Blues. It's a pity, Miss Titty. Philly Flasher. Westward Ho.
I think it's a pity Miss Titty is fake.
That's fake, yes.
Okay.
X-Man, Revenge of the Nerd, Burning Desire, and Pickup.
I think Burning Desire.
Revenge of the Nerd was the fake one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was damn. I thought that was way to go. You've won even against the game is not even a real game.
Lady in Waiting, Bachelorette Party, Jungle Fever, and Different Strokes.
I think different strokes.
Yeah, that was a fake one.
There's like you've said a number of them that I know are real. Like I know
they won't.
Bachelorette Party, Beat 'em and Eat 'em are real. Yeah, that's like you have to be I guess you have to either be an old pervert or be like super duper internet poisoned.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna know. And the other one was where I take Nintendo DS JRPGs and
Hmm.
do the round they already did where they send in what they think the plot is, and I read the real plot's one of them. And
Oh yeah, that one's fun.
I also wrote one of my fake plots. So here you can tell me which one is the real and fake plot for
Okay.
these. The idea, of course, is there'd be like three other ones, right? But
Uh-huh.
for Radiant Historia, in the midst of an unending war for dominance between two superpowers as the world desertifies, Special Intelligence Agent Stock is assigned to a routine escort mission that goes horribly awry. The second one, the star of history has disappeared from the nighttime sky. The Order of the Scrawl had anticipated this event for millennia and sent out their apprentice, Cranla, to reignite the dying star.
I think the first one's fake.
Now, the first one's actually real.
Damn it. Damn you unpredictable RPGs.
Magical star sign. Verta wakes up one morning to find the signs of infinity swirling around her room. Each image brings her into a new reality. She comes to realize that all realities revolve around a single event in time, and she must discover the nature of the event and that it comes to pass. The other one, after hijacking Will o' the Wisp Academy's hidden rockets, a group of students sets out across the Baklava solar system on an adventure far beyond the scope of a rescue mission across several elemental planets.
I'm gonna say because the second one has baklava in it, that's real.
That
Because
is
that's insane.
that's okay. That is real. That's an interesting tack to
Yeah.
take. But I like
That is
baklava.
absolutely you would not if you made it up, you wouldn't put baklava in it. That's why.
Final Fantasy: The Four Heroes of Light. As a comet approaches Earth, the elementals converge for the first time in 5,000 years and use the last of their powers to create a hero who must collect the Soul Stone from each of the 7 continents, which will then give them the strength needed to divert the comet. The other one, the story revolves around a 14-year-old boy summoned by the King of Horn to rescue his daughter, Princess Carino, who has been captured by the Witch of the North.
I'm gonna say the second one's fake.
That's the real one.
Damn it.
See, okay, so
It's
okay,
like you
good.
set your
I
clock
didn't
by me being wrong.
I didn't know if I was making stupid rounds or not. So
Well, I have just such a different perspective from like people 10 years younger than me who grew up in the UK. Also, um, I'm operating on very little sleep right now.
oh, that's fun. Yeah.
So those are the things.
Hmm. Okay, I guess we'll do this thing that we
All
were
right.
gonna do. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, you are the trivia guy. I just got in the habit of making trivia for other things. So
Trivia's fun. I mean, I'm
yeah,
not good at it. I'm not actually that good at it. It's just I know a bunch of random things, but
I'm not good at it. I know how to search Wiki, right?
what is that? Yeah.
I
I
know
mean,
how to
like
use
if
Wiki.
you play bar trivia with me, you'll get third place, but you probably won't get first place.
Okay. How many teams are there?
15? I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Then third. I was gonna say if there are 3 teams, then it's not so great.
No. There's always at least 6 teams at bar trivia,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't think I've been to bar trivia since I was like 19 or something.
Yeah, I haven't been way before COVID. I mean, I haven't actually competed in bar trivia probably in 10 years. So,
Right. Okay. I don't
mm.
quite remember. What was the question at the end of this podcast? We were just psychoanalyzing it.
Uh, the question at the end of this podcast, I
Yeah.
fucking don't remember. I
I
didn't
think it was
listen to
well,
the.
I think it was
I
like
don't
let's
think I have access to it. Didn't you
you
record it and you didn't release it yet? So I don't even know. I haven't even
correct.
listened to it.
Correct. I'm just testing your memory,
I
that's
won
all.
that trivia quiz. uh, who is in prison and do they deserve it?
Every week it's the same answer.
It's always the same guy, and yes, he kind of does because he
Okay.
just goes around screaming like I cannot shake like the knowing that he had so much control over the series like completely changed my view on the series. And I cannot stop thinking about how he's like just hamming it up the whole time, angrily.
Great. I guess they'll do an intro then.
Okay.
Hi, folks. It's Imprisoned, the prisoner podcast. I got it wrong. Other
Yeah, I don't know
prisoner.
what a prisoner is. That would be weird.
You could do that.
A prisoner.
A prisoner of Zenda,
Hmm.
Zerda, something like that. I don't know.
Zyrtec. I'm a prisoner of Zyrtec.
This is Matt.
This is
Comment
M- this is Mark talking over everybody. Malik.
Yeah, there we go. That's one thing I remembered. This is this only the second episode we recorded, and there was like a month in between, so we forgot what we're doing here, which
Well,
is
maybe these will air in different order than we produced
ooh,
them.
oh yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? So we're going by my A&E discs here, which seems like the sensible thing to do, and
Well, what it is this is production order so far, but also it is known as the it's the 6 of 1 order endorsed by 6 of 1 the Prisoner Appreciation Society. It's the
it's the
same as
second.
your DVDs,
Okay, they appreciate the DVDs. This is free for
or the
all.
DVDs appreciate them.
It says on the back of the box here that the second episode to be filmed, entitled episode 2 on the location shooting schedule, which I don't know, that seems kind of like a red flag there. If they called it episode 2, then it seems safe to do this as episode 2. It's just a free for all with the order of these episodes.
Well, on the Wikipedia page, there are something like 6 different orders. This
Right.
is only second in the production order and the 6 of 1 order.
Okay.
Maybe we'll find some discrepancies later, but I think most of the other orders had it as either 4 or 5.
Hopefully in a few episodes we're like screaming at each other, arguing about which one's the next one.
No. Well, what's inevitably going to be going to happen is we're going to sit down to record an episode, and you'll have watched one episode, and I've watched a different one, and then we can't do anything.
Oh yeah.
Or we could scream at each other and just
like an episode of The Prisoner.
Get out of this podcast. You're free. Get out.
So yeah, I guess your job is the trivia for this. Do you want to do that?
I think I can. I'll skip the beginning of my trivia where it says the thing about the production order.
Okay.
This is the first of 5 episodes directed by Patrick McGoohan himself, but the first of only 2 which he directed and wrote single-handedly. So he both directed and wrote this.
What was his other hand doing?
Screaming. Eric Portman plays the new number 2. He was a British actor, mostly acted in thrillers and dramas, and he was so well known for his skillful portrayal of Nazi officers that many people just believed he was German. This was his 4th from vinyl acting credit, as he passed away in 1969. Rachel Herbert plays the maid, aka number 58, aka the new number 2. At the end of the episode, she's a British actress mostly seen in television, particularly murder mystery. You might think she's speaking a language that's real, but you would be wrong. It is a fake nonsense language.
Is that offensive?
Sorry, nonsense language?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not real.
Yeah, okay.
If I said German is a fake nonsense language, that would be extremely offensive. But no, she's not the German today. Kenneth Benda plays the supervisor. He was most well known for starring in Scream and Scream Again and The Adventure of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother. The character will be back, but played by a different actor.
Just so he's here for the screaming.
He's here for a good time, not for a long time. Okay. I don't know. John Casabon plays the man in the cave. He mostly took on British television roles, and he's only one of today's guest stars who will appear in a future Prisoner episode, but he appears as a different character.
Okay, sure, why not?
We're just gonna throw everything out. Everything is just so, even the casting is insane in this series.
Because then you keep pausing, and I'm like, oh, does that mean he's finished? And then you have another actor.
It's dramatic effect.
Maybe you need to have a signaling sound for when you're finished with the trivia, like huzzah.
End of trivia.
Okay, here's a plot.
Trivia at end.
Okay, here's a plot. I think it's clear when my plot's finished. It's election time in the village, and number 6 is coerced into running for number 2. If he lands the job, he will be allowed to learn about number 1. But it probably goes without saying that his platform is to let everyone leave the village. Unlike many politicians, 6 stays true to his word and tries to leave in the middle of the campaign, though Rover makes sure he does not. Placed under psychoactive drugs, 6 continues his campaign and actually wins. He begins to give the proclamation for everyone to leave, but the slapping hand of number 6's maid suggests otherwise. It seems she is actually the one predestined for that number 2 chair. Lucky if she manages that for another episode, and especially lucky if it's more. It's not a good chair.
Plot end.
That's, oh, yes, plot end. Okay.
You never really know who's going to be number 2.
Right. So I did notice in the intro. We can't talk about the intro forever, but his car has a license plate that says "car," K-A-R. I thought that was fun.
Isn't that the enemy car in Knight Rider?
The enemy car? Oh, geez, I
Yeah,
forgot.
the evil kid. There's an evil kid. His just name is Car. It's like K-A-R, or maybe
But
K-A-R-R.
Kit's only like one binary decision away from being evil anyway.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. It's but Car, he's evil because he has an evil voice.
Oh, okay, not a chill voice like Kit.
Yeah, it's a different guy who's voicing probably the same car,
Right.
or the
Okay.
stunt, whatever, second stunt car.
Mm.
What do you call it? Second car. What do you
I
call it?
don't know.
Stand-in car.
I know there's a hero prop. That's the best
Hero
prop
car
with all the
prop.
detail. Yeah. So I assume this is pretty much how elections actually run. What we're seeing in this episode seems accurate.
Yes, it's very timely. I'm surprised that nobody stormed the Capitol while after he was elected.
Yeah. They don't really have a capital, I guess. But
Well, it's like City Hall. I think it has a bunch of planetarium stuff in it.
Right.
But that's where they do the thing to him in there. Or that's where they brainwash him. That's what you do at City Hall.
Right. Just a few thoughts I had on this one though. Wait, where were you? Oh yeah, it's every election is just a student council election in the end, I guess. That's kind of what we're going for here.
I think it's one of those things where there's a lot of truth to this, but it's that kind of truth where you can't take it too far, or then you find yourself just not voting.
That's kind of what I do. If I could just like drive down to the local elementary school and vote, I probably would, but I live in Japan, and that involves like me sending stuff to America and then them sending something back and then me sending that back, and it's just like it can't be bothered.
Do you have to send all your chads?
Yeah, probably. And that plus the apathy of the voting system is why I haven't bothered voting for 10 years. But just I'm adding the rider that if it were easy enough for me to just hop in the car, drive a few minutes and vote, then I would. But
yeah, it's really difficult because you can't argue that voting doesn't change anything, but you can also argue that not voting doesn't change anything. So you might as well just do the thing that, oh God, I don't know. I didn't want to disappear down this horrific wormhole this quickly, but I guess you have to talk about it because that's the human experience that this episode brings to the table is like the bullshit of the electoral system. Right here it is.
Well, especially modern. Well, geez, modern everyone politics. It's like here are two reprehensible people. Choose which one you support. It's like why?
Yeah, if someone you like might be running in whatever party it is, then they will probably be like destroyed by the establishment candidate who won't actually make any friends on the other side.
Yeah,
and then you'll just have to swallow all your bile and just vote for old grandpa, whoever. I mean, that could be anybody, really. We haven't had a candidate who was born after 1946 except for one time.
Grandpa Farter is your new god.
It is 2022 and we haven't had a single president who's born after 1967.
Yeah, okay. That's a good point. So
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do people? Yeah, I don't get it, but I do like how this one makes it clear that the candidates are just you have to be supported by the village in order to be the candidate. So, um, why are we supporting number six then? That's like
Well, it seems like you have to be brainwashed so that you have like a parade ready for all the candidates, but then you have to become brainwashed in order to run for office. So then the brainwashed people support you, but then you become non-brainwashed, but then someone who pretended to be sort of brainwashed has to trick you. There's a lot of there is a lot of stuff going on here besides the electoral thing.
yeah, yeah. This is definitely where we get into the mind freakery of it all, I guess, because the arrival is just kind of a, as we said, like an orientation, right? So
It does feel like they know they're hyper aware of or I guess Patrick McGowan was hyper aware that he can't just scream at people that he wants to leave and then just try to leave over and over. Like they have to do more than that.
well, they still get a little segment in the middle for that just to break things
Hmm.
up a bit.
Yeah, it's almost like the Knight Rider scene where Kit does a car chase. He just is every episode going to have an escape scene? I can't remember.
I
I feel
don't
like that
can't
is
remember.
possible. I feel
Yeah,
like that's distinctly possible. Because last time it was a helicopter, this time it was a boat.
right. So what do you think you'll be next time?
Submarine,
Jetpack? I like my answer
jetpack.
better. I like my answer better.
I want him to ride. I want him to like put a saddle on a rover and try to ride it out.
But yeah, it's like who does number two work for, right? So
Yeah, the people are like number two, number two, number two. And you notice later they don't say number six, number six, number six. They say six, six, six,
I definitely
six,
noticed
six,
that.
six.
I definitely noticed that. So, and yeah, that stood out because I mean, I think that already meant something in the late 60s.
I'm pretty sure that yes, I'm pretty sure they knew what they were doing.
Now, once he is, in his brainwashed capacity, well, or at least pretending to be it, he goes from screamy voice to you're like, oh, Pat has a pretty silky smooth voice when he wants to.
Well, that's true. He's not screaming at all.
Yeah,
He's not trying to startle anyone.
he sounds slick.
It
Pleasure
lasts
is our
feels
right.
like it feels like it lasts a very short time.
Well,
But
yeah, because he needs to get down to business, right? So
I I I feel like I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like at one point when he's talking to the maid who doesn't speak English, at one point he just goes, "Ah!"
I wrote Lizy Tona. I guess that's one of the things she's saying.
Easy tone. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they did do some like I didn't take a whole bunch of notes about the nonsense words, but there's definitely some weird echolalia stuff going on. That's how you get somebody to trust you is to go, let's blah 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 blah.
Now, I did find it funny you mentioned the escape sequence. That's when the bongos kick in. I think that was the only, other than the opening theme, I think that's the only time the bongos kicked in on the soundtrack. And for some
Yeah,
reason, I thought
man.
that was funny.
Time to go, man. Time
You
to
know,
go.
the prisoners like watching James Bond continually getting kicked in the junk, I guess.
I mean, to be honest, that is a large part of James Bond's whole thing.
Yeah,
Like,
literally in that one movie.
I mean, is there a James Bond movie where he sort of like gets one over on everyone the entire time? I feel like he gets like knocked down a whole bunch and then he
Yeah,
gets up again.
like that Chumbawamba song.
Yeah, then you're never gonna knock him down.
Well, right, but we're gonna knock number six down. So
Yeah, that has to that has to happen. He can't just do he's sort of allowed to do whatever he wants, but they can't have him do whatever he wants. So they have to just keep doing things like putting him in a tunnel and
yeah,
making
because
him talk nice.
basically he's putting out that I'm running as like as a malcontent, right? So they send him to the weird cave with the weird dude in it.
He's told that he doesn't take sugar with his tea because he's afraid of death. That's like
Yeah.
pretty scary brainwashing.
I mostly gave up sugary drinks on my own volition 6 years ago. So
Well, that you're scared of death, and therefore you're now under my control.
No, I was just scared of having like 5 extra kilograms.
Yeah, honestly, I am kind of scared that I'll never be able to wear the box of medium shirts that I have under my bed that have been sitting there long enough that I'm going to need to wash all of them before I can wear them again.
Ah, okay. Um, and then when he's in the cave, he's going to take the truth test, which I was like, is that like the purity tests we all used to do in university?
Yeah, they were like, never did I ever touch someone's butt.
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, I don't know, that's a purity test. It seemed like he was just being asked why he's running for office, and everyone should know why he's running for office, and and then they break his brain because they know because they tell him what he's doing.
Oh,
That's it.
man is at his most truthful when he's too high to talk, right?
That's true. Yeah, they probably just gave him an edible in his
Um,
tea.
I mean, it's kind of a sister show to the Manchurian candidate, especially for this episode.
Hmm.
Although he's not supposed to kill the candidate, well, he's killing
Well, we'll
himself.
see.
He's
We'll see,
killing.
dear listener. Maybe he will kill someone.
Okay. Well,
Time will tell.
but I'm talking about the Manchurian candidate, like
Oh, yeah.
programmed assassination. I don't think that happens.
No, I think MK Ultra was trying to do that, and then all they managed to do was make people like lose their minds and go insane.
Mm-mm. Oh,
Right?
the other thing I wondered when they were chanting with the sixes is maybe it kind of sounds sexy. It's like sex because that's what I have a bunch of students that always giggle at the number six because they think it sounds the same.
Remember when I was in Japan and we were on the subway and it went to the station that was called Zushi, and I kind of laughed at it, and you said, "Yeah, it's not like that much like sushi." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
Yeah. And where is Zushi? Oh, that must
It
be
was
in the other
north of
prefecture.
Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Oh no. What else did you notice here? Rover had
Well,
LSD at the center. That was pretty cool.
he gets kind of sexy after he gets brainwashed. He wants everyone to have more leisure time.
Right, right. That's where what was it? Pleasure is our right, which I
And then he
believe was a
screams at a cocktail waitress. Ah!
well, the bar didn't have alcohol, right?
Yeah, that would make me scream.
Exactly. I think he's
But
justified in screaming.
the bar is called the Cat and Mouse. I don't know if you noticed that. Uh, yeah, I put in my notes. I don't even remember what my mindset was, but I put in my notes. Sometimes I'm scared of Patrick McGowan because I'm afraid he'll yell at me from beyond the grave.
Yeah, I wrote in my own notes, vote for me and you won't have to commit suicide. I'll kill you myself.
What a platform! I'd love, they really could have done just a bunch of more series of just this island with other types of people on it, trapped on it.
Well, yeah, I guess I might have said before that's kind of the fantasy island thing, right? So, but
That's true.
well, the thing is, I guess the idea here is we're looking at this guy's psyche and a way that even TV shows now don't really get into. So,
Yeah, yeah. Fantasy Island is supposed to be like magical, right? Don't they just sort of grant wishes? And is this show is insane, but it's grounded in like actual science of a sort. I mean, there's nothing happens. Nobody's ever like flies or does like magic or witchcraft.
and I mean, there it's not like the British and American governments weren't doing all sorts of, like mind bending experiments.
Yeah, this was probably right around the time. Oh, this was right around the time that CIA was just dosing people left and right.
Hmm.
I mean, isn't that what led to the electric Kool-Aid acid test?
Yeah.
It's just CIA acid. All
So
right.
I am wondering what kind of knowledge bank McGowan was in, right? Because he'd been at the BBC for what, 5 years. It's like that time when
Hmm.
the Sex Pistols were screaming about Jimmy Savile on live television in the late 70s. It's like everyone
Well,
knew.
well, he claimed to base the series on that he talked to someone from Parliament and they said they quote take care of people when they retire from like British intelligence. They put
Yeah.
him up in a nice house and whatever. And like this kind of feels like, he sort of does have everything he needs and wants. He just doesn't want to be there and is mad.
Mm. Right.
Because I
Excuse
mean,
me.
yeah, it's because it's not real.
Mm. Now, the election had a lot of hand holding. It made me think of that Simpsons with Dolan Clinton are walking around just holding hands everywhere because they're aliens.
Yeah, yeah, it was it's a bizarre it's a bizarre what do you call it? Ritual. The whole thing. It's also really interesting that we're just getting this out of the way immediately after someone is I mean, if this is the actual episode 2, we're immediately going from this guy is imprisoned on an island to democratic election. It's just going straight into like, no, it's normal.
So
Look,
yeah,
here's an election. It's normal.
well, so who elected the new number two then?
I think
She elected
nobody,
herself. Yeah,
probably. I'm pretty sure nobody.
that's kind of what I'm getting at. I heard someone, like not someone who wasn't like really running for office, but they were, right. They put their name in the ring and just like, oh, if I'm elected president, my first executive order will be to dissolve the presidency, which is kind of what number 6 is after here. He's kind of an anarchist, right?
Like Vermin Supreme. He's like the Vermin Supreme of this island.
I mean, what would be your first executive order upon becoming president?
I would be like, look, if you're a state, you can leave if you want. Be like Hawaii, you can go. If you don't need to be Texas, you can go. You know, like I would be that would I guess that is like I guess that's more than the dissolution of the presidency. That's just the dissolution of the whole country.
Right, right.
It's just like that. I'm so sick of hearing about states' rights. Like if you guys don't like it, you can go, but if you stay, you have to. Abortion has to be
Languish,
legal.
languish under my iron fist.
Yeah, yeah, you can go if you want, but if you stay, it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be intense, folks.
You'll become larger states. I don't know. Oklahoma and Montana are the same thing now. They're all the square states. That's just Midwest, just one state now.
The remaining states will invade the ones that left to take them back. That happened. That was Civil War.
Yeah.
So no, you're just starting a real new Civil War, right?
No, my real answer is I would put like 35 Supreme Court justices in.
Well, what you have to do is because it can only be 9, right? So you
Yeah,
use
because a stitch in time saved 9.
so
That's
you
why.
so you use the CIA to just keep assassinating Supreme Court justices, so you can just keep putting new people in.
I'm just gonna say nothing will save 9. That'll be my slogan. It'll be everywhere. Nothing.
So by the end of your term, there's been 35, justices.
You will pass. Yeah, you will pass my New Deal, or you will have 35 Supreme Court justices, and the New Deal will have 34 Supreme Court justices.
So maybe that's what this episode's lacking in, more absurd platforms.
I think this island definitely needs more than one branch of government.
Well, they have a numbering system. You don't need another branch with that. It's
Yeah,
clear.
I guess you have the checks and balances of number 1 and number 2, and whoever else is number 2.
Every man gets
The
a
3
number,
branches. Yeah.
and women too. Let's not leave them out.
Yep.
What is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I was making sure I was using the phrase correctly there. Where were we? Number 2, blah blah.
We want number 2. We want number 2. That's another thing people chanted.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Now
gets slapped a lot at the end. It was almost like, what am I watching? Did he really want this scene in the show?
she's a slapper.
I was like,
I got it mixed up too because I just watched the new Star Trek where Spock keeps getting slapped. So it was like a slap fest of a weekend for me.
you gotta like rewatch all of it with the Benny Hill music.
Yeah, I did notice he does escape the village at the end of the episode. So just his head his flying decapitated head. He makes it out in the end.
Wait, does he?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
it's the
right.
very last shot of the show. So, that's the secret of the prisoner. He does get out, but he's a giant floating head, like in London between episodes.
Well, that's sometimes that it be like that.
That's my head canon.
That's your head.
So,
Yeah, it'd be cool if there was just no violence, really no extreme violence in the show, and then at the end it's just like he just gets decapitated.
that actually was no pun intended. I didn't get it till you laughed. I was like, hey, that was pretty witty. It's too bad I didn't actually think of it.
So what did we learn from this episode?
What was the point?
Is that whoever doesn't speak English probably does, and they will destroy you.
The most incoherent people are the ones that end up getting power.
Maybe,
But
maybe.
number two obviously is not like a particularly good position. You only last for like an episode, and then what happens?
Oh, I was gonna say the number two, the first number two in this episode sounds like Terrence and Phillips from South Park.
Hey,
That's something
buddy,
I forgot.
why'd you run for
Yeah,
number two?
it's like, hey, oh, this is everything's gonna be fine.
That's hip. Yeah, I like that. But what's the mind game at play? What was the point? Because they could have just let him sit in his cottage screaming at people. They did, how
It's
how does
sort of,
this advance the thing?
I mean, it's a classic carrot and stick. They were just giving him like a different carrot.
Yeah, yeah. Try a different carrot on for size.
Yeah, it's like, hey, maybe you can, the first episode was sort of maybe you can escape, and this was sort of like maybe you can change the system from the top and not have to do any fundraising or campaigning, and you just automatically could just sort of win this election or not.
I mean, they were going through quite a production because if you noticed it, like 5 seconds after he's like, "Okay, I'll do it," they already have all the posters printed and in the streets,
Yes.
which I
That's
thought was
part of why. Yeah, that's part one of those things where it technically is scientifically possible, but it is just
well.
creepy.
To me, yeah, exactly. I was like, that's not like a production flaw. No, they actually had that ready.
Yeah, it's not impossible, it's not magical, it's just creepy.
Yeah. So it's like, yay, you're the one now. We're already ready. It's like, it's like at that point you can be like, oh, gee, I guess I'm doing what they want, which, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, there's the perpetual question of what is the deal with everybody.
Yeah. So it's sort of like by that point he's like intentionally stepping into it.
Yeah,
What if he
because sorry, go
what if,
ahead.
I mean if he was really hardcore, what if he just like opted out at that moment? Now I'm gonna go home.
I guess it
Home
just
bed.
wouldn't have been an episode. What if they just were like, what if they were like, hey, look outside? And then they had the parade with his face on. Look, you're running for office, all right?
Maybe well then maybe a later episode they'll take that a little stronger of attack because this one still wants to, I guess, give the illusion of he's making his own choices.
Wasn't that sort of, didn't that sort of remind you of the Truman Show? I guess there's gonna be a lot of that in this. I guess more like the Truman Show reminds us of the prisoner, because it seems like
Yeah,
if he
I believe
wasn't,
this was made first.
yeah, if everything is so scripted, then you know that if he went off script, then people would be like really freaking out about it.
Okay. You want to throw anything else out on this particular episode?
Gonna say great episode. I definitely remember this from previous watches. It's a very memorable, iconic episode.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely kind of a step up. The pilot one is a perfectly functional pilot, but it's the orientation. It's like here's all the stuff we'll be like spending time with, but right now it's just there it is. Let's move along now.
I mean, they're stepping the pace up a lot. I mean, geez, there's casual brainwashing that just lasts for like 3 minutes. It's like, and doesn't really serve a purpose except for just to make him like kind of just throw him off balance, which is pretty cool.
Again, I'm like,
Yeah.
how many of our politicians are being thrown off balance by, people who we don't see so much because they're super rich?
You mean like Roger Stone
I don't,
or whoever?
whatever. I'm not, well, no, probably not even people you would know the name of, because you get to a
Yeah.
certain amount of, like, people with true
Jeffrey
power want
Epstein.
want to be anonymous. We're talking all middlemen here, though. I think people that really wield enough power to make sure they stay under the radar.
Yeah, it's really a shame that Jeffrey Epstein's island looks more like The Prisoner than almost anything else we've talked about today.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, because we had like number two's chair. I did notice had the all-seeing eye and a pyramid and stuff. I'm like, oh, nothing subtle there.
Yeah, no, of course not. It's yeah, they're just, operating in plain sight, which is good. I mean, it's just refreshing. I think a lesser show would have had him run for office the whole time, do his best, and then like, oh, or a lesser show might brainwash him and have him run like a whatever earnest campaign, and then he snaps out of it at the end. But they just do all of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, there is no twist here. I guess except that the maid actually speaks English and is the new number two. But
That's a
even
pretty
that,
big twist.
yeah, okay, it is. But I mean, as far
But
as
it's
the
not
arc
an
of,
important twist because there's still a number two. It's just piling it on.
yeah. So if people are traveling with us along this line, the next episode would be Dance of the Dead. I'm also telling
All
you, I
right.
guess. Dance of the
Thanks.
Dead. Yes.
Yeah,
Because
now we're in the territory of Iron Maiden references because the
oh,
beginning of
right.
this episode is the entire thing where they sample it for The Prisoner, the song.
Right, right. Yeah, you're more of an Iron Maiden listener than I am. Although I had a run in with their classic albums, of course, but it's been a little while, so I don't roll on in my car all the time blasting the Maiden.
I'm
Not that there's
pretty
anything wrong
much
with that.
do.
Just like you're all Maiden all the time.
Not all the time, but for a good time, not
Looking
for a
for a
long
good
time.
time. If you're looking for a good time, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Can you? I don't know. It's imprisoned of a prisoner podcast. I can't get over that. I think it's hysterical. Everyone else hates it.
No, I think the thing that's gonna ruin everything is the fact that you spelled it EMPRISN. I can't even spell it out. You spelled
Okay.
imprisoned with an E, which is going to completely sink this podcast.
That was just a test file. That was a test file. I haven't made the
Oh, you're
real
gonna
one yet.
actually make it I am imprisoned with an I? Okay, well then never mind. Find us at imprisoned.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
No, I can't make up. I was going to make up my own language. I'll just have to read that
All
thing
right.
I managed to write down again. Where is that? Lazituna.
Ah!
No, it's just screaming. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the conversation. Ah! It's like seriously, there is like a while where I'm like, is he like just doing Tourette's shit?
I think it's kind of like this is what Popeye would be like if we focused on Poop Deck Pappy instead.
Yeah, maybe.
Instead of Popeye. We
Sort
just
of
have
like Cranky Kong the game.
Yeah, we just have to figure out what oh yeah, speaking of which, I have this to play. Luke was like, no, you have to play this.
Wait, is that Monkey Puncher?
That's Monkey Puncher.
How did you fucking get Monkey Puncher? Isn't that sort of like rare?
I don't
I
know.
guess it's not.
Luke has a Monkey Puncher.
I didn't tell Luke this, but I actually did play like 20 or 30 minutes of Monkey Puncher before going on their quiz show.
Let me see if it's
This fucking monkey bit me. It's like, come on, dude.
yeah, I don't think this is the Japanese version because it says Monkey Puncher in English.
I don't know if there's that much of a difference. I think
Yeah.
it's like I
Well,
think
I guess
it's like kind
the
of
whole point is the terrible English, right? So
yeah.
but I haven't quite got around to it yet.
I mean, it's not super fun, but
No, I'm sure it's
it's
not.
interesting and funny.
The whole point is it's how insane it is, right? Not how fun it is.
Yeah, it's a joke. That's the whole thing. Um, I just got a Wii for free and hacked it, so I'm gonna play all these Wii games I didn't play.
Okay, that's cool. I did find I still have a few advanced cartridges. Which what do I have? I got a drill dozer
Oh,
and
that's good.
the Metroids that were on the advance.
You played the
And
new Metroid on Switch?
no, I don't have a Switch.
It's fucking awesome.
I don't really game anymore, to be honest.
Ah, it's really good. I mean, I'd recommend that. Even though I've been playing the new Halo like a lot, the new Metroid is better than the new
Hmm.
Halo. But the new Doom is probably it's a good time for like people wearing suits in space shooting at stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Doom.
The new Doom from 2016, I guess it's not new anymore, but that's a really good game. Like you would probably really enjoy that because it's a lot of like sort of jumping around and just fast killing stuff, but then it's like to replenish your health, you do a fatality on whoever by clicking the stick, and then it just does these automated fatalities that just zooms in and you'll do like push the eyeballs out of a skull and just crush it, and then you can sort of chain them together just automatically. So you just are watching like you're just watching your hands just be like it's just ridiculous and not super difficult to
Oh
play.
yeah, your audio quality just went to hell, but that's okay because I
Oh,
already finished the
sorry.
episode.
Yeah. Is it back? Is it better?
Now it's better. What was that?
I don't know. I just sort of shifted a little bit. Maybe it disconnected a thing.
You were talking too wildly, I guess. Yeah.
I tend to like carry a lot of shit around in bags with me, so I think a lot of it develops shorts over time.
Mm. What else do we do recently? We finally got our cursed RoboCop podcast out of the way.
Oh wait, cursed RoboCop?
Yeah, because we've been trying to record it for like 2 years.
Wait, you haven't already done a RoboCop episode?
Nope. We were gonna do it 2 years ago,
What?
but the
Am I
guest
crazy?
he lives in like a one room apartment with his lady or something, and then with the first time we were gonna
Huh.
do it's when England locked down.
Huh.
And then we had it scheduled for a few months later, and then England locked down again, and then we had it scheduled for last fall, and then like he got COVID, so
Oh God.
so we finally did it this week, last week.
Oh my God. Well, congrats. And the 4K Blu-ray just came out, which I haven't watched yet, but I don't know. I bought a 4K Blu-ray player so I can purchase that without wasting money. So that'd be
Mm.
pretty cool.
In September they put out the first Star Trek motion picture and the
Oh yeah, there's
psychedelicized
like
version.
the enhanced thing. Isn't it just on Paramount Plus like that? Like I just watched it there?
You can now, yeah, but the Blu-ray comes out in 4K in September, I think. But um,
Okay.
yeah, for it like kind of tightens up the editing. It actually adds enterprise noises to the bridge, which is actually a really big
Hmm.
deal.
Okay.
Because they just
I
like
could see
forgot
that'd
to.
be good.
It's just if you remember, it's just like deathly quiet on the bridge in that movie.
Yeah.
Whereas now it has all the like proper enterprise noises. The thing was not color timed, so they finally bothered to do that. So the movie now has color. Like the
Huh.
effects going into V'ger actually does look like 2001 sort of shit now. Like with
Okay.
with the color wise. I mean, I guess it always
Cool.
did, but it's kind of washed out. The uniforms don't look quite as drab anymore. Like it
Yeah.
actually looks like gold shirts and blue shirts.
Did
No
you see
red
how
shirts.
I like in the middle of the night drunk sent that message to you guys that said Tuvix was a dick?
Oh yeah. Well, he is.
He's fucking terrible. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he's even worse. He's like worse
Neelix.
than Neelix. I was like, shit.
No, that's
I
why Tuvix is so funny because yeah, it's like how
like, how dare you kill me? You're killing me. It's just, yeah, God. I was just like,
and you're
kill
like
him,
yeah, really. It's
kill
like
him.
it's really easy to support Janeway in the end.
Yeah, I wonder if they like realized how funny that was when they were doing it. I bet they probably didn't, but
Some of the actors probably did.
yeah. But I'm almost to the third season of that finally.
Okay, I'm Yeah, I'm doing the first season. I'm following along with the mission log one. Although I've out of the 10 episodes so far, I've probably like not bothered to finish watching like 3 of them.
Yeah, that show. Well, there is some really good stuff in it. It's just this weird thing where Voyager seems like a lot of it's made up with of like best ever Star Trek episodes and like painfully mediocre ones. And
And a
then
few
there
real doozies.
and there like is sort of a thread of there's like
The-
that through whatever story, but it kind of sucks. Like those shitty Klingons
There's a
kind of
threshold.
suck. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's like,
Except
there's.
threshold's awesome.
I mean, it is awesome. It is
Threshold's
awesome.
like
It's
so
really
whack
funny.
that it's great.
It's pretty funny. Um, but yeah, there's sort of like this thing where I'm like getting pretty tired of Seska and just I'm ready for them to get some better bad guys. I guess they're gonna start dealing with Borg in a minute.
Borgifying the show, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, no, I basically explained Voyagers being the Beach Boys of Star Trek shows.
Makes sense.
But season one, especially when they, have several episodes that just commit the sin of being boring, right? So,
But it's like part of what I really like about it is I guess this was like some kind of mandate handed by down by someone, but so many of the actors intentionally talk like they're trying to sound like actors in the 60s Star Trek. And I
mm.
think it's kind of awesome. Like a few of the I mean Captain Janeway especially is kind of like, yes, yes, I'm on a starship. It's like kind of awesome. Like
Right.
there's sort of a lot of kind of trying to sound like 60s movie stars. I guess mostly the female characters,
But
but
we all didn't we all just assume she was a clone of Katherine Hepburn anyway?
yeah, kind of. I mean, that's and then what's his name? Chakotay sounds like Eric Estrada from Chips.
It's not the 60s, but sure.
Close. Yeah, but it feels like they're kind of trying to do like old Hollywood bullshit, which is pretty cool, but
Did you watch
uh,
any of Prodigy?
not yet. I'm trying to sort of stick to order, except for I know I'm gonna watch Lower Decks when that comes back because I do really like that show.
Yeah. And then Strange
Because
Worlds of stuff. I mean, if you have Paramount Plus already.
I do, but it's like I have limited amount of time to watch things, so it's kind of
Okay.
like just trying to. I mean, I'm watching. I don't know, The Boys, which came back, which is on Star Trek related, but
I would prioritize
always
Strange New
something.
Worlds.
I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
People who are mad about all of the other stuff seem to be happy about that.
Prodigy just comes with the rider, like, or do you like Pixar? If you don't like Pixar, it's
Mm,
probably not your bag, just because it's
that's a
just that.
maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
I think like most people, I'm feeling like I was started feeling Pixar fatigue before I started feeling Marvel fatigue.
Mm,
But there always is way more Marvel than there is Pixar. So,
right. Right. Yeah. I haven't seen a Pixar for several years now. I guess partly because Hana don't want to see that stuff anymore. So.
a lot of it's just weirdly flawed in ways. It's just like the last one I saw was Soul, and it was sort of like this thing where it's like I kind of get what they were going for as far as like the moral of the whole thing, but it feels kind of like would you rather if it would be really disappointing if you actually were a working jazz musician, why don't you just die instead? Like that literally is what it feels like. Like there's shit where this dude goes so far to fucking become a jazz musician and then he's just like, that's it. I'm just playing in a club. That's it. I mean, I'll just die. I'm like, you don't there's no way that guy didn't know what being a jazz musician would be like if he was like that good at playing a piano and it was a music teacher.
Yeah, I think I fell off the wagon with the Walking Pair of Pants movie.
I missed that one. I don't know. What was that? Sister of Traveling Pants?
No, no, Onward, I think is the name where they
Oh
they
yeah,
try
that
to
one.
resurrect their dad, but they
Ah.
only get his pants.
Yeah, that was pretty lame. I bet they were kind of like, oh man, this is gonna look really good for us not to release in theaters. But they're like super glad that COVID happened. This is just like, I heard
There you
Turning
go.
Red was good, but I haven't watched it yet.
I work near lesser pandas, so I'm curious.
I mean, it's supposed to be a distinctly Asian film, which is cool because we don't get very many of those.
Yeah, because the zoo near the school I work at has lesser pandas.
Okay.
So I've known they were a thing for like 10 years.
Do they have periods though? And is it all about them having periods?
Think so.
That's what it's about, is having your period.
Oh, okay. No, I don't, because that's good because at the zoo they have like logs above where people walk, and the lesser pandas run over those logs. So
Like the lemurs do here, I guess.
yeah. Okay, I guess I will run off then. So, oh, I'm still
Cool.
recording. People are going to hear